Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing why detaching is so powerful. I provide audio coaching for breakup recovery, trying to get an ex back, attracting someone new, and life coaching. Visit www.dateme.tips for more details. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. Check out my socials for extra content. The links are in the description. So now let's get back into today's podcast. And today we are discussing why detaching is so powerful. So if you have been dumped and want to try to get your ex back, it's really important you walk away from the situation. In today's podcast, I'll be discussing 3 reasons why detaching is so powerful and increase the chance of getting your ex back. So let's get straight into this, and point number 1 is regains control. So when you've been dumped, one of the things you will instantly feel is a lack of control. You have no control over the situation. You, as a newly found dumpee, didn't want your relationship to end. What you wanted to happen was this relationship to continue, and yet your ex-dumper, they wanted it to end. So what we see here is a power imbalance. They got what they wanted and you didn't get what you desired. What this shows is you have no control over the situation. They have all of the control. So when you detach, this is something really, really important because it regains control. You actually manage to take back something because this is your decision, this is something that you are doing, and you are in control of it. And it can feel really empowering to have something that you have decided actually take place. Now you might think, well, my ex-dumper doesn't want me to chase them. They don't want me in their life. So how is detaching taking back control? Isn't detaching just giving them exactly what they want? Well, this is where something really interesting comes into play. And that is the fact that your ex-dumper might not want you in their life right now in a romantic sense, but they certainly expect you to be chasing them. They will have an ego, whether this is consciously or subconsciously, where they expect you to be their safety net. They expect you to chase them. And this can be a bit of a paradox because you're thinking to yourself, well, okay, if they expect me to chase them, then why don't they want me to chase them? Well, this is something regarding human nature which can be hard to actually get a grasp of, but it is reality. They don't want you as a romantic option right now, but they do expect you to be there as their safety net. They don't want you to chase them, but they do actually expect you probably will. And hence, if you don't and if you detach, this is you taking back control because they're actually going to be somewhat surprised that you haven't. And this isn't the only reason why the control can be helpful. It also gives you the potential to break patterns. Now, breaking patterns is really, really important when you're a dumpee because you are going to be going through a very difficult time. I like to explain it as feelings within a combination very similar to grief combined with drug withdrawal. This is something which you need to break. You need to break the pattern of you thinking of your ex 24/7, and you can do that by trying to regain control over the situation by detaching. Now, I know this is easier said than done. I know this isn't something which just because I've said, hey, you should be detaching, that you can just do it. But what you need to recognize is that if you don't detach, you are not going to be breaking a pattern and you're going to be making things much more difficult. Let's just give an example. If you decide to check your ex's social media every single day, that is not detaching. That is chasing your ex. Okay, they might not realize that you're looking at their social media, but you're chasing them from afar. You're chasing them in a covert way. And even though they might not know, your mindset knows. You're not detaching. And if you don't break that pattern, things are going to get worse and worse. Checking your ex's social media might soothe you for a few seconds, a few minutes, but it doesn't actually solve the problem. It just makes you want to do it more. It is an addiction. And therefore, regaining the control, taking back the control, it breaks the patterns in your mindset. It also promotes healing Because if we're not chasing our ex in an obvious or more covert way, if we're not doing those things, we are promoting healing within ourselves. If you're a dumpee, whether you want to try to get your ex back or not, you need to heal. You need to be growing as a person. You need to be understanding who you are and where you want to get to. If you don't do these things, you will never be able to get your ex back. You will never be able to find somebody even better, because no one is going to want to date you if you don't have a stable mindset. You need to heal, and the best way to heal is to regain control, breaking those patterns, and living your life the best way that you can. Now, what we also need to understand is that you will never get to the position of recognizing that you're okay without your ex unless you regain the control and detach. So in a sense, this will allow you to understand and realize that you're good either way. You're good if you get your ex back, you're good if you don't. And you might be listening to this and thinking, well, that's not true. If I don't get my ex back, I am not good, I am not happy. I will never be comfortable in that mindset. But listen, it happens to everyone. It takes a different amount of time. There is no set time limit for someone in your position, probably as a stage 1 dumpee, to get to stage 2 and therefore eventually get to stage 3. But you will. And these are the patterns. I've spoke about them in other podcasts, so I'm not going to delve into them too much right now. But as a dumpee, it doesn't matter how long your relationship was. It doesn't matter how long you've been broken up. There are stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And if you're in stage 1, you're thinking of your ex 24/7. And you might be at that stage right now. But you will progress to stage 2. And you will likely also get to stage 3 unless you get your ex back sooner, which is also possible. The movement of your mindset will happen. It will take place at different speeds, at different pace. I can't say exactly when you get to stage 2 and stage 3 where you become more comfortable and when you recognize that you will be fine. No, you will actually be great, whether you get your ex back or even if you don't, because you can find someone even better. You will get to that mindset, but it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be for the next few months, it might not be until next year, but you will get there. Everybody's at their own pace, and regaining control will get you to that place sooner. And that is why it's so important to detach, and that is why point number 1, it really is so powerful. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast. Please like this video if you're watching on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And point number 2 is increases attractiveness. Now this is what I touched on slightly in point number 1, about the fact that if you don't chase your ex, if you detach from your ex, they aren't really expecting that to happen. They don't necessarily want you to be part of their life right now, but they do expect you to be there in the background. It is that weird paradox. But where point number 2 really comes into play is when it increases your attractiveness. So this isn't just about your ex-dumper thinking, oh, why isn't my dumpee chasing me? I kind of thought they would. It's not just about that. It's what happens from that point. And from that point is that you will start to grow intrigue and wonder in your ex-dumper's mind. Now, what happens when you create that scarcity between you? Well, scarcity creates value. Your ex-dumper can't value you unless they see you as a scarce situation, until they see you as a scarce commodity. That is why things which are scarce are more valuable in our everyday world. Let's just think of an example off the top of our head. Imagine a ring with a huge diamond on it. Now, what makes that more valuable in a financial sense? Well, the likelihood is it's more valuable because it is much harder, much rarer to find a huge diamond. Now, of course, there are more intricacies than that, but that is a very basic way of describing it. Think of anything in life. Generally speaking, things which are rare cost more money. Things which are rare are more valuable. Things which are very sentimental to you and maybe don't have a monetary value, they are very valuable to you because of how rare they are. You might have one photo of a family member, a distant family member from your past. You have one photo of them. That photo is incredibly valuable. Why? Because it's so rare. You don't have a million photos of that person. You have one photo and it is so important to you. So what we see here is scarcity creates value, and you need to create that scarcity. You need to become someone that your ex-dumper thinks of, wonders about, and gets to the stage of missing you, and they won't do that if you're always in their life. If you chase something, it can't become closer towards you. I've never seen that happen. You can't chase something closer to you. If you chase something, it gets further away. It runs further, it runs faster. If you continue to contact your ex, if you text your ex, call your ex, knock on their door, after they've told you the relationship is over, after the dust has settled, after you've said your piece, if you keep going and going and going, they are not going to come back. Instead, they are going to get further away. And therefore, we have to understand you have no option. The option is stop contacting your ex. If you don't stop contacting them, what's going to happen? Well, not only is your ex-dumper going to likely become further and further away from you, but you might get into some very serious trouble. Because sadly, what generally happens if a dumper ends a relationship and you keep going, you keep texting, you keep calling, they will likely block you. If you try and find a way to cheat by blocking, if you try and find a way to escape this situation and you continue to contact them and knock on their door, if you keep doing that, what happens then? Well, unfortunately, your ex-dumper is likely to contact the authorities. That is the likely next step, and you do not want that. If you have a restraining order put on you, do you really think you're going to get your ex back? It's incredibly, incredibly unlikely. Now, nothing is impossible. I've heard of some really random, crazy situations in my time, but we're talking about that 0.1%. You do not want to be in a 0.1%. You want to be having a much better chance of reconnecting with your ex, and that will not happen if you chase them. So, we need to become more attractive to our dumper. We need them to wonder, think, and miss us. We need to become more valuable. We need to create scarcity, and you do that by detaching. Now, if you would like advice and support about how to try and increase the chance of one day getting your ex back, then you may want to consider my audio coaching service, where me and you can speak one-on-one about your unique specific situation. Go to my website www.dateme.tips for more information about how I can become your coach and your teammate via my audio coaching service. Talking about your feelings can also improve your mental health. It helps prevent the buildup of negative emotions, which can lead to stress, anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. Speak your heart to free your mind. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast. If you feel that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description. And point number 3 is enhances self-awareness. So if you've been dumped, you are going to have a very cloudy mindset. We've already spoke about how you're going to experience feelings very similar to a combination of grief and drug withdrawal. Horrible, horrible feelings, a very cloudy mindset, certainly not a stable mindset. Now, during this time, you are likely to view things in a very skewed way. You are likely to either be looking at your ex-dumper and blaming them for everything, or potentially looking at yourself and blaming yourself for everything, beating yourself up every single day. Now, normally, dumpees fall into one of these two categories. But what we can say is that they don't see things in a clear and balanced way. Anybody who is out of a situation is likely to see it clearer than those who are within it. So what happens to you as a dumpee? Well, if you're not seeing things clearly, you're not likely to be able to get your ex back. I touched on earlier saying, if you don't have a stable mindset, you won't be able to get your ex back. You won't be able to find somebody even better either, because nobody wants to date someone who doesn't have a stable mindset. Now, if you have been dumped, one of the few positives you can take from this is that you can get to the stage where you can enhance your self-awareness. Now, this has to be done in a balanced way. And like I said, at the time of a breakup, you're probably not thinking balanced. But as time ticks on, you can get to that stage where you become a version 2.0 of yourself, not just through self-improvement, through skill set and fitness and things that I often speak about, but also through self-awareness. When we're in a relationship, we might not really look in that metaphoric mirror. We might not look at things and say, right, this is who I am, this is what's going on, this is why this is taking place. You might not really look at things and understand exactly who you are as a person, but you will do that when you've been dumped. You will put yourself under that microscope. And although I don't suggest that you beat yourself up every day, because that is not helpful, it's not fair, it's not kind, we do need to understand our role in the breakup. Now, maybe you think you did very little wrong. Maybe you feel that your ex-dumper dumped you out of the blue. Now, if that's the case, you really do need to look long and hard and think, okay, could I have done anything better? Could I do things differently? I'm sure that you could. Now, similarly, don't blame yourself for everything. Okay, we do have to find that balance, remember. This isn't just all your fault. Very rarely would it be, because your ex-dumper is also human. They will also make mistakes. But we do need to have that self-awareness. Because if you want to get your ex back, you need to make sure these problems and situations which arose don't happen again. Certainly from your side of it. You can only fix things from your side of the equation, but that is what you can do. And that is why lots of dumpees move forward in a positive way. Maybe they seek some type of therapy. Maybe they want to speak with myself via my audio coaching service, or a local counsellor, or maybe a friend or family member. Now, if you do the latter, please make sure these are people who are not directly connected to your ex, because they will pass anything and everything on. But you do need to understand what's going on within you, why this happened, what you can improve, what you could do differently. This is about self-awareness, actually acknowledging why C happened. C happened because of A plus B, okay? Do you see what I'm saying here? We have to understand exactly what took place. And that self-analyzing can be very, very useful as long as you don't cross the line. And I do have to keep bringing this up because if you go too hard on yourself, that isn't helpful either. So there needs to be a balanced approach, but you can enhance your self-awareness if you detach. You can't have that self-awareness if you keep contacting your ex, if you keep chasing your ex, if you keep bombarding your ex. You're not going to have that time and that space to actually think about what's gone wrong and what could be different. You need this opportunity. And this is why, in an ironic sense, sometimes the best thing for you and your partner is a breakup to reset things. If you've been going through life in a somewhat kind of okayish way, but it's not really that great, and it's been slowly getting worse, sometimes a breakup will allow that self-reflection so that if and when you get back together, you can build your relationship on stronger foundations and make sure you live your life in the best way possible. Of course, I'm not saying that a breakup is ideal, but if it provides that self-reflection, and if you do get your ex back, your next relationship with your partner, who is your ex right now, could be even better.